Alright, so now we have the bones of our app. So I'll show you the other APIs in another video, but for now we'll work on converting this to a Cardova app. So let's begin. First, we need to open, if you have everything installed correctly, we need to open a command prompt. Then I'm going to change directory to my desktop, press tab, and yeah, change directory to my desktop. I'm going to do Cardova, create new, no, cars, let's call this cars with a Z, yes, Cardova create cars, hit enter, and my project is created. Now, we're targeting Android, so let's Cardova, we can list the platforms we have, Cardova platform ls, list, whoops, it's not a Cardova, we have to change the directory now. Now let's run back that command. So again, we can target the browser with the plugins, but we're going to target Android. So let's target Android. So Cardova platform, add Android, and it's going to add Android. And it's added the Android platform. Good. So now we should see a cars folder. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So we come in here, we go in our www folder, we delete everything. Yes, and then what we will do, we'll paste in all of these stuff in here. And we have our images folder. Alright, so let's pretty this up a little bit. Let's put this image in here because we want all the images together. Now if we do that, let's edit this now. No. So originally I had okay, so this is our index file, good. Let's edit the main file. So let's change that image now that we moved it, because if we were to preview it, main will not be found.
I am a fast car.
If we click on it, it still works, but we want the image to show. So to ensure the image show, we need to add the images folder, the path to it, and save that. And we are good to go. If we were to reload that, it works. Now, we want to convert this to a Cardova app to run on an Android phone or emulator. To do that, we have to we will need a text-to-speech plugin, because the web API doesn't work. I know the other API works, the speech synthesis, and that works offline. Doesn't require an internet connection. I'll show you that in a minute. However, let's see what would happen if we were to try to build it. Let's open Android Studio. Android Studio. Okay, just open. We want to open the virtual device. It's loading the project. Good. So we are open. So let's go to Tools, Android Virtual Device Manager, and let's click Play. And we boot that up. Now we can close Android Studio because it takes up a bit of memory. Exit. We don't need that open. Good. Now we are going to go here. Let's Cardova. Run emulate. Run would work to Android. Hit enter and let's wait. And now we see that our app has launched, and that's all there is to it. So let's log in. Now you see invalid user entered, so we have to enter the username and the password. So let's see. and the password is easy, and we click login. Valid user, proceed, okay, and we're taken to the other app page. So that's all there is to it. I click this, it doesn't work, it's not talking. I click this, let's click to talk, not working either. So I don't know what's happening. How do we figure out what's happening in the app? Well, let's go to a browser, a web browser. Let's go to developer tools. Let's go to this, more tools, remote devices. Now for remote devices to work, either you have to have Android Studio open. Oh, I guess not. So it shows up. So let's inspect that in the emulator. So we see we get some error messages in the console. Right off the bat, we see uncaught reference error, speech synthesis is not defined. Uncaught reference error, speech synthesis is not defined. WebKit speech recognition is not defined at start listen. So we have to go and fix that now. So we know that something is definitely wrong with his speech, but other than that, our website works. Oh, and look, it shows up over here, and let's click that. You see the error shows up again when we click that. So we definitely have errors with the speech. We're going to fix that now. And I can close that off. Back. Go to the website, Cordova plugins, and we have button events as well. Well, we want to look at the text-to-speech plugin. So we can actually click that link for documentation. However, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to come in the window here, right-click, paste. So now I've added the text-to-speech plugin to the project, and I'll let it add it. So once it adds it, now I go back to my website. I see how TTS speak works. I just copy that as an example. Come in here quickly. So now we don't need this function. This is if you're doing a website, you use this API. This is for websites. But for a mobile app, we're gonna erase that, or we can comment it out. That's what we will do. We'll comment that out because we don't need it. We aren't using it. Instead of this function, we can actually use tts.speak, and we can do the same thing here. I am a Mustang. I am a Mustang. Good. And that's it for the speech synthesis, where it's talking now. For the speech recognition, that's a bit different. Namely because you can either install this plugin. However, it works for me because I have Git installed. For some of you, I didn't realize it wasn't working because you didn't have Git installed. So you can install Git, or, but I prefer the web speech API because it can work offline. You need an internet connection for this to work. It's basically exactly the same thing. The only difference is WebKit is appended to this. Now, to use the web speech API, what we need to do, we need to go in the Apple folder, in the cars folder. We need to look at this config file, and I'll document this on my website as well. We need to edit this, right? So this is our configuration file. It tells what permissions we need and what essentially. Now, if we look at platform Android, we need to allow the microphone. And to do that, let's head over to my website. Let's see what it says. So now we see web speech recognition API. So we don't have to install a plugin, but we have to edit the config XML file. So let's copy this yellow highlighted text. Let's go to the cars project folder. Up from www in our root folder, we'll see this config XML file. Right click, edit with notepad. Now let's scroll across. Let's add that line we copied to the end. Save that. Also, we need to add this line here. So let's copy that. Let's go back here. And right where we see platform name, Android, let's add it under that intent there. Let's add it config. So this will add this permission, the microphone permission, to the Android platform. And you do have to manually enable it on your phone. Unfortunately, there is a plugin that you can do that will ask you to allow it, but for now we won't worry about that. Save that, and we are good to go. Also, one more thing. After we install the plugin, in order for it to work, we must import the Cordova.js script, and any script that uses plugins or anything Cordova, it should be in here. So just remember, very important script, and we save that. We ensure emulator is open, and let's run Cordova emulate Android, and it's ready to go. So let's enter
I am a Mustang.
and now it works.
I am a fast car. I am a Mustang. I am a fast car.
And if we scroll down, testing. Okay, so this is my cell phone, so it works, and we click to talk. Now you see we have an alert, it's not allowed. So we have to accept the permission. So we go to app permissions, turn on the microphone, go back, open the app, click to talk now, testing, and you scroll down and now it displays what we have set. Note that I had to use my real phone for the microphone to work. I guess the emulator doesn't, maybe it wasn't fully supported, or I didn't have the right settings, but it works on a real phone, so it's best to test on a real phone.